Here we go.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Mate, no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. Mate, no rain from the track.
All In coming up this Sunday. It's at Wembley Stadium. The biggest event in the history of pro wrestling outside of WWE. I don't think that's even a controversial statement. AEW 0 Hour starts off Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. MJF and Adam Cole versus Aussie Open for the titles. Who you got?
I'm going to take MJF and Adam Cole. I think there's more stuff to be done. Even if there's a title change, I think the idea of the two of them being co-holders of tag titles while feuding, I think there could be something there. And I think there's more. I think there's more there because Aussie Open hasn't been built yet here.
Yeah.
I think that they're flexible enough to lose early. And I think there's more storyline potential with those two holding that particular set of belts. Thoughts?
Yeah. I think you're right. I like them as the ROH tag team champions. And I think it adds another layer to the story, and and it gets Aussie Open in front of 80,000 people, which is cool with me. Although dipshit McGee, what's his dickhead's name? Raj Giri.
Which dickhead are we talking about? Oh, Raj. Lord.
Yeah. So I think starting next week, we're going to, we had to pivot this week, but I had like a whole segment planned about dumb tweets of the week or shithead tweets. I don't know what the segment's going to be. It's probably going to be the Raj Giri moment of the week. But this guy, like somebody said, oh yeah, but they have Aussie Open on at Wembley Stadium, so that's cool. And he could be like, yeah, Aussie Open's great. He could have just said that. Instead, he's like, who the fuck is Aussie Open? Nobody knows who they are, or something like that. I can't remember what the exact tweet said. Paraphrasing. But basically questioned, like, who cares about Aussie Open, essentially, because they're not famous yet.
Would he say the same thing if they put the War Raiders on? Oh, if WWE was doing a show in Wembley and the War Raiders were on a pre-show, would his dumbass say anything to that effect?
No,
of course not.
He's got an agenda here. Yeah,
of course not, because he is a dickhead who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But he is a millionaire who sold a website that used to have some credibility at some point. So, fuck that guy. It's going to be a good match, and the Aussie Open will be something in this country within the next year. So
yes. It's like, just because somebody's not famous yet, that doesn't mean they shouldn't be on shows. How the fuck are you supposed to get them famous if you don't put them on TV? How are you going to get them over if you're not putting them on your biggest shows?
Man, I'll tell you what, having Lord Littlebrook on that WrestleMania 3 card nearly killed it.
Yeah. Trios match: Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi, versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita.
Excuse you. I normally would say the Elite go over, but I think because we're all assuming that we're going to get Takeshita Kenny in Chicago.
Yeah. So
it would not surprise me to see the Bullet Club guys and Takeshita get a win here. I mean, like, the head says go with the Elite. It's the Elite, but I think I'm going to go with my sleeper here and put the Bullet Club guys in Takeshita.
If Mike were booking, Takeshita pins Omega. That's how I would do it. Clean or not, doesn't matter. Takeshita pins Omega. That's what I would do. 100%.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I would quite enjoy that, actually.
Yeah. Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland. And now Christian Cage, no longer AR Fox. There's rumors going around as to why AR Fox was pulled. I think he's in the doghouse right now. Because not only did he get pulled from the match, he got pulled from the entire angle. He got kicked out of Mogul Embassies. Swerve's a great promo, so he was able to pull it off. But the whole thing was just, but the entirety of it just sucked, right? Yeah.
I don't know if it sucked. I don't know. I don't think it sucked. It was rushed, but I thought it was rushed. I thought Swerve's performance carried it to something at least interesting.
Look, Swerve's a great performer. You can give that guy anything. He's probably going to make. But I think that the rushing of it and the content of it, and I think they did it because this guy's in the doghouse, or else they would have just done another injury angle. Mm-hmm. They could have done an injury angle to pull him from the match like they did with Fenix, who we'll talk about a little later. But yeah, there's lots of rumors going around. I saw somebody say like maybe he didn't have his passport, and then somebody was saying maybe he had a funeral. I don't know what's going on there, but he got pulled, and it looks like, it's booked now. Christian Cage Daddy himself is in the match.
Yeah, Christian Cage is going to be looking to hump Nick Wayne's mom.
Yeah.
That's kind of his gimmick now.
Yeah.
I it would not surprise me if you did not see AR Fox on AEW television for quite some time.
Yeah, so it seems like he did something wrong here, and I don't know exactly what that is, but there's like because like he turned heel in a great way in tremendous fashion, and then just got turned back babyface and looked like a complete geek. And Nick Wayne and Darby seem to be his buddy now, even though he tried to
Well,
murder Nick
To
Wayne.
be fair, Darby
Well, let's hear this. Let's hear this. Go ahead.
Darby was the one who forgave him. Nick Wayne just was kind of there. So there is nothing to say that Nick Wayne necessarily forgave AR Fox.
Well, I mean, he didn't try to kick the guy's ass.
Well, perhaps
Like,
perhaps Nick
remember when
Wayne
you tried to murder me?
hold on. Perhaps Christian Cage tells Nick Wayne these same facts. And
Yeah.
Nick Wayne is lured under the spell of one Christian Cage. So perhaps
Okay,
we're
well,
laying the seeds for
yeah.
another story here, or perhaps this is shitty booking. I tend to want to see the better thing. But that being said, I would not be surprised if we don't see AR Fox for a bit.
Yeah. But again, kudos to Swerve, man. I think he
Good
turned he turned a chicken salad out of chicken shit or whatever you call it.
However that phrase goes, yeah.
Yeah. We got Stadium Stampede, Orange Cassidy.
Sting and Darby winning that one, right? Someone's Christian Cage going to the coffin again.
Yeah. Christian Cage. Yeah, absolutely. Going to the coffin 100%. Yeah, I forgot about the comments because I'm looking at my Google Doc here, going through my notes. But here, well, let's go through the comments real quick. We got Wind Up 13 Erd. I'm sorry, dude, I have no idea what that is, but it makes me sad that people like Raj represent the business. Yeah, that is sad.
Yep.
And then Io, my man, Io, what's up, dude? Greetings, fellas. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. Patreon subscriber too. Thank you, Io. Yeah. So Stadium Stampede, Orange Cassidy, best friends, Eddie Kingston and Penta versus John Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and the returning Hulk Santana and Ortiz. Santana got the same prescription as Buddy Murphy, Andrade, and Brian Cage and Big Bill. I don't know if it's from the AEW doctor or not. I'm not going to throw any allegations out there, but yeah, he's coming back looking jacked, brother. And there was a rumor that him and Ortiz were still refusing to work together, but they look like they're fine now.
Oh, they did? Did you see Ortiz walk right by Santana and the two of them didn't even make eye contact on the show? They did.
Hey, they went to work. They went to work. I mean,
they went,
yeah.
Which in this company really says something. The two guys showed up for work and stood together on camera. Clearly, they don't love each other at the moment, but they showed up for it. Yeah, Santana looked absolutely jacked out of his gourd. Meanwhile, Ortiz wore a hat strangely reminiscent of Ranger Smith from Yogi Bear.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to a Taylor Swift concert. I didn't know what the hell he was up to, but
I don't know what Ortiz is thinking with the new outfit, but I'm excited for this match, to be quite honest with you. I think this is going to rule.
Dude, they always rule. Like every Stadium Stampede, even the silly one. I thought that was good. Like,
the silly one was perfect for the spring of 2020.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we needed at the time. It absolutely worked. Yeah, great stuff. Who you got winning?
BCC.
Yeah, I don't think that you want Santana and Ortiz. If you're going to try to get behind these guys and push them again, I don't think you want them losing. You know, let one of the best friends lose. That's what they do.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor's right there.
Yeah. And now we got the real World's Championship, CM Punk versus Samoan Joe. You remember that from TNA?
I do remember that. That's why I chuckled. That's old school. That's some Brace for Impact stuff. I think this match could be a lot of fun, or it could be really bad, and I'm not sure which way it's gonna go.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be inclined to say that it's going to be pretty good. But I'm also kind of, a big fan of both of these guys.
Me too.
No matter what Punk's behavior is behind the scenes, I just happen to find him fascinating and I like his matches. So
we got a YouTube comment on that last week. These guys are Punk fans. I laughed.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Guilty.
Yes, we are. Like
we are, but we also like when he's being an asshole, we say it.
He's an asshole.
Right? It's like we're being an asshole, but also at the same time, I think the Young Bucks are kind of being babies.
Yeah,
Right?
can we agree that everybody is being a little much in this whole scenario? I tweeted out the other day. I'm like, I can't believe, because people were still litigating this thing online, like hours after Terry Funk died. I'm like, my God, Terry Funk is dead, and you guys are still fighting up. Like not them, but like
Yeah.
fans. I'm like, you guys are wasting your
Yes.
online time to talk about this crap when a legend is dead. Come on, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah, go watch some goddamn Terry Funk promos. Stop worrying about the antics between the Punk and the Elite. But yeah, the latest update I saw was that Punk has made several overtures to try to squash things, and the Young Bucks are just not interested. So I am now. It's like, yeah, Punk was the biggest asshole in the beginning, but I think these guys holding on to this grudge, not helpful for the company. They might want to just, accept that olive branch, squash it. You ain't got to be friends. No one's saying be friends, but come to work, have a meeting. I was in a meeting today with somebody that I despise. Now, they didn't whoop my ass. Okay. Full disclosure, but I was in a meeting today with somebody that I despise, right? Because guess what? It's my job. I get paid to do it. I have to work with people that I don't like all the time. And I was in a meeting, was cordial. I actually complimented a thing that they said that wasn't even really worthy of all that much of complimenting, but I'm trying to be a professional, is that's what professionals do, right? You make the workplace environment better for everybody. Clearly one guy's trying and another guy's not. And that's kind of where the situation's at right now.
I have, if CM Punk has like said I'm sorry, if he's actually used those words, it is on the Bucks to kind of accept. They don't have to accept an apology. I would like it. I would prefer it if everybody just went to work. Dude, I'm a teacher. I go to work with people I can't stand all the time. Have you met most teachers?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, no one's saying be friends. Just go to work, right? No big deal. Just go to work. And then Punk, get over the whole Danielson or Christopher Daniels stuff. Get over that too, dummy. Let the guy go to work too.
I'd rather see. I don't think Danielson cares. I think Danielson's very happy to take Saturdays off, quite frankly.
Oh, I mean Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels.
Sorry,
yeah.
not Danielson. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd like to see him let go of the Punk thing, or the Punk thing, the Hangman Page thing a little bit. Let that
go. Leave that guy alone. Like, he's not doing anything.
You got your receipt. Like you won, and you got your words out. Let's just, and I kind of was like, he can hang on to this shit for as long as he wants. Then he went back to it again. I'm like, all right, bro, now it's now you're beyond reproach here. Oh, yeah, Josiah said it's kind of difficult with his job. That's true. Josiah works with God. So
yeah. So we got where did I leave off? Oh, who's winning that, Punk or Joe? I mean, Punk, right? Come on.
Punk. It's Punk.
Yeah. AEW World Trios Championship, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass with the Ass Man theme, apparently, Voices of Wrestling. I think talked about that, and I had another friend tell me that was coming up too. But I think can't remember if it was Joe or Rich that talked about that in the Discord. But so they got the Daddy Ass theme, Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus the House of Black. Man, do you see them just sending the crowd home happy and doing like a big time scissor with 80,000 people and a title win here, or is it too early to take the titles off the House of Black? Because despite Aleister Black's bullshit, like they're pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. It is my favorite trios in wrestling at the moment is the House of Black, because they're actually ring-wise kind of awesome. We have heard some stories about Malachi behind the scenes. I'm not going to talk out of school because I can't verify things. So I wonder if it isn't time to take them off him to handle things, right?
Yeah.
Would I rather see the House of Black keep those belts? Absolutely 100%. Absolutely 100%. Do I think they're going to? I'm not sure. And is it a hot take for me to say I think the Ass Man song is stupid?
I think it is stupid. But I think that's the point of the song.
Fair. That's a good point.
Yeah. It was always like I don't think anybody is like, going in there thinking they're fucking John Lennon because they're an ass man. You like to kick them? We like to lick them. I'm an ass man. Like I don't think that was the case.
Is that a Jim Johnson special?
It has to be. That was the time period, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I got nothing on this one. I guess if I'm putting money on somebody, I bet the Acclaimed come out with those because they're still pretty over.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
So
they are. AEW World Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker versus Saraya versus Toni Storm. I can't call this one. Conventional wisdom would say Saraya because it's in the UK and she's one of the few people from the UK actually on the card. But I just don't know if they take the title off Hikaru Shida so soon, but who knows?
Saraya's pretty brutal in the ring these days. Um,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll be totally honest with you, man. I just don't care about this match at all. I hope Shida keeps it because she's the best one in the match.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no opinion on this match one way or the other.
I think Saraya gets it.
AO says the IWC would break if Saraya wins. I'd like to see it.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm with Io. Yeah.
As a fan of chaos, that would
Yeah.
be sensational. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Discords across the country would melt. That would be a lot of
Let's go Saraya. Let's start a hashtag give Saraya a chance.
Give Saraya a chance. Boy, they're gonna hate us on this network soon.
Yeah.
Entertained by that. Oh, we just lost
Yeah.
a follower. We just lost a viewer with that one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
they're
give
back.
Saraya
They're
a
back.
chance. Oh, good.
Next match, Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. I'm gonna predict that this is gonna be an incredible match because look, Chris Jericho's in his 50s, but he can still go when he needs to. And then of course he's working with the best wrestler in the world right now, and Will Ospreay. There's gonna be tons of heat in this match. Will Ospreay is a UK favorite. Don Callis is probably the best heel in the business right now. I just find this a match to be incredibly appealing. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Ospreay takes it. What say you?
I'm intrigued by this match immensely. I think this will be the last great match of Chris Jericho's career. I think Will Ospreay is good enough to carry just about anybody, and Chris Jericho is still pretty good at doing what Chris Jericho does. I think Will Ospreay is going to have 80,000 people chanting for him, and I think it's going to be great. Dude, the contract signing was excellent TV. And I've never said that about a contract. Most contract signings are god awful. I thought it was great. It was so funny to see, like, when my timeline, people unanimously praise it, with the exception of people from the UK. Like, there's people from the UK who are just like, ugh, Ospreay, I just can't.
It's not really.
It's so
It's
weird.
media from the UK. I just don't think that they have a good relationship with him.
Fair.
They don't. And
Fair.
there's probably multiple reasons for that, and I don't really have a good explanation. But it's just something about the UK media; they just don't like that guy. And he doesn't like them. He's not very nice to them either.
No, I think you're right, but it was funny to me to see so many people praise that segment, and then the UK media guys are just like, yeah, no, it was bad. And I was like, what? Really? Really? Oh wow, I was surprised. Like I said, I loved it. I thought it was great. And I think Will Ospreay, I don't know if it's gonna be a Davey Boy Smith moment, but I think the Davey Boy Smith moment, I've said it before on the show, was very overrated because it meant nothing in the long run.
Yeah, he was gone 2 months later.
2 months later, he was gone.
Yeah.
And I think, and Will Ospreay sure did say, hey, my contract's coming up and I'm gonna get paid a lot of money.
Dude, he's going to AEW. I think that deal's already done. I think he's just gonna finish out his New Japan dates, and then by come January he'll be in AEW.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. He kind of made that pretty clear. So the AEW World Tag Team Championship, we got FTR versus the Young Bucks. FTR with both Dax Harwood and Cash Money Wheeler. Don't fuck with him on the road, man. This guy had a hell of a weekend. And it looks like people have already forgotten it because there was people going ham. Dude, they were out for blood on this guy. You can't let him on the card. He's a danger to society. He shouldn't even be allowed in the UK. We don't want that guy here. He comes out on Wednesday night on Dynamite. Nobody gave a shit.
Twitter
it's like, it's like it never happened. Right? The news cycle moves fast.
Twitter isn't real. We got to remember that. And like, here's my big thing with that is, can the man stand in court of trial? Can the man stand in a court of law? Can we have this man tried before we convict him? Like, people are like, well, you have to suspend him. Like, do you? What if, here's a crazy thought. What if the guy didn't do it? Like, I'm not saying he's innocent.
Weird.
But it's a he said versus he said thing, which is why you have a trial, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we, and if the guy did it, if this is the story and he brandished a gun on a road and did all this stuff, fire him, do what you have to do. I'm perfectly fine with that. But can the man get his day in court? I said, like, I I told you this story. I had a friend in college who was accused of a very heinous crime, and he got suspended as we were showing up to our conference qualifier tournament, which is to get to the NCAA tournament. And the AD said, "Nope, he's done." And my friend spent 3 years of his life and tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees to get a not guilty conviction that took 30 minutes of deliberation.
Wow.
Like, I can't do it, man. I can't sit there and just immediately figure everybody who gets accused of anything is guilty, because I saw this guy's life basically get ruined when he was innocent. So I'm just like, I personally cannot get when say everyone must be punished on accusations. I just can't do it. I would rather see the guy go to court, and if he's convicted, sure, fire him, be done with him. But if he didn't do it and you punished him, what was that for?
Right. Well, and that's my thing too. Like, I think people are forgetting that he pled not guilty. Like, I think that's an important aspect of the story. He's saying he didn't do it. Right. So we can't just assume that he did it. I don't have any evidence that says he did do it. There's an accusation.
Right. He didn't plead no contest. That would mean, yeah, I did it. Can we please get the least harsh fine possible? He's saying I didn't do this. So there's a story. We've only heard one side. We've only heard part of a side of the story too. So let's let the legal system carry it out. And if the guy is a scumbag, he wouldn't be the first scumbag. I always talk about, hey, what about Jimmy Uso? Like, yeah, that guy's got multiple DUI arrests, and WWE never did a damn thing with him. Oh, hey, Scott's got a comment. Pull that up real quick, Mike.
Oh, Scott, you know what? I was going to try to have him on, but then the Terry Funk and the Bray Wyatt stuff happened. Scott E. Wrestling, our buddy, said, I missed the opening of the show, but shout out to you both. MJF segment was my favorite from the show. Talk about Dynamite, but it's interesting doing the Ospreay contract thing, fun stuff moving forward. Yeah, absolutely.
We mentioned you earlier in the show, Scott. I mentioned that we were talking about Terry Funk matches. So yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, I hope he gets a chance to watch a lot of some Terry Funk stuff, and then on his next podcast he talks about what he watched. A great podcaster, by the way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so podcaster. With the cash stuff, man, it's like, if he did it and it comes out he's guilty, right? Let's just say he's guilty. And then at that point, that's when you have to make a decision. And then whatever the decision is, the decision. I'm not going to weigh in one way or the other. But we're talking about mental health, right? And we're talking about all this other stuff that's super important. I don't think a guy that's of his right mind does something like that. So you guys that care so much about mental health, that really are about that life, maybe instead of tearing a guy down, maybe we try to figure out exactly why he may have done something like that. Not, let the legal system play out, let the conviction happen, but there might be a bigger reason as to why maybe somebody has that kind of anger inside of them that would do something like that if he is guilty, which could very well come out that he could be guilty. Absolutely. I'm not denying one way or the other, but if Tony Khan has him on the show, right, and then it comes to find out he's guilty, guess what happens? Then you make the decision, but there wasn't really like a negative thing for having him on the show. It doesn't take away from the show itself, right? There's not going to be like this crazy amount of blowback. And that's what people are thinking. I was like, well, if he has him on the show, then there's going to be blowback on the company. It's like, no, not really. Like there won't be. If he makes a swift decision once the verdict comes in, then that's when you know where he stands. But right now he's standing with the guy that he knows. Like, he knows this person. They are friends. He's worked with them for years. You stand by him until you can't, right? And that's an important thing too. Not in every case, not in every situation. The BJ Whitmer thing happened earlier this year. That was absolutely horrible, horrendous. And they knew the moment that it happened, they knew exactly what was going on there. They shit canned the guy immediately. This one's not so clear, right? You got to let the system play out.
Yep. And same with with Jimmy Havoc when that whole thing happened. He didn't deny it. He didn't fight it. They fired him. Everybody moved on. Like I said, let's give this guy a day in court and see what happens. Who do you think wins? I honestly don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going with the Young Bucks. And partially for one reason is because they just resigned. And another reason is it's the biggest show in history. I think you want to do a couple of title changes here. And then also because they don't know what's going to happen with this Cash Wheeler thing. I think you want to get the titles off of them because, while you may not need to suspend him, you probably don't want him having the titles when the verdict comes in. Right. Yeah. So maybe you cool him off a little bit while you wait to see what happens. But I'm going to go with the Young Bucks on this one.
I'll go with you on that. That makes sense.
AEW World Championship, soon to be ROH Tag Team Champions, Adam Cole versus MJF in a storyline that is about to climax, a storyline that I hated its first couple of weeks, and all of a sudden the bastards got me. I love this thing. I I just don't see them taking the title off MJF, but I think it's possible.
I do too. I'm interested in this because this is a very unconventional storyline build, and some people hate it because it does lean way into the sports entertainment world, right?
Yeah.
But you can't argue that it's not the most interesting thing going on in the company, right? As far as the story goes, and it has captured people's interests and imagination, so they've got something here. I'm very curious to see where we go from here. Like, what role does Roderick Strong in the Kingdom going to play? Is Cole? I mean, they seem to telegraph pretty hard that Cole's going to turn on MJF, but did they do that on purpose? Like, did
Yeah.
they push so, like, it's a sleight of hand thing. Did they push so hard to make you look at this hand that you don't see the other hand coming up? I mean, I don't know. Something interesting is going to happen, and I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure how it leads into next week because we need a hook to get us to go to that other show or to buy that other show. I'm going to the show. I bought tickets anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, you need a reason to buy this next show, and it has to come out of the fallout of this match. And I don't know what that is. And that's going to be a real big test for Tony Khan because they tried that in WWE in 1991 with Hogan and The Undertaker and Ric Flair, and it did not work.
Yeah. This pay-per-view is tracking to be one of the biggest that they've ever done. I think they had 90,000
pre-sales. And who the hell
Yeah.
pre-buys a pay-per-view? I've never even thought about pre-buying a pay-per-view.
I typically wait until it's on.
Me too.
It's like 30 minutes out, then I'll hit the button. But yeah, a lot of people were just like, maybe because they just need that Fight TV reminder. Or I guess if you're international, I don't know if Bleach Report does that, but when I used to have Fight TV stuff, I would get a reminder on my phone, hey, your pay-per-view is about to start. So, but yeah, dude, I'm gonna stick with MJF. Who you got?
For the sake of conversation, I'll say Adam Cole.
Okay, and then the curious thing. So maybe they flip it to Adam Cole, and then that sets up next week at All Out in Chicago. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know, and that's a good thing that I don't know. I don't know what's coming, because you rarely get that in pro wrestling. We can typically see where things are going, but right now I just don't know what to expect, man. Not sure what to expect at all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know where this is going. I really don't. And that kind of excites me because sometimes it's pretty easy to see like, oh, I smell a title change here, or I feel like this is coming here. I don't know where this goes because they really seem to lean it hard into Max being the top baby face in the company now, which is what it seems like the crowd likes. I could tell where things are going based on how my kid acts. And my kid hates MJF and has hated him for years. And we were watching Dynamite last night. And he looks at me and goes, Dad, I think I kind of like Max now. And I was like, really? Even though he cheated and beat Darby Allin? He's like, yeah, I think he's changed. And again, he's 7. So he's easy work. He's an easy mark to work. But
like, hold on, kid. Let me teach you how to hold on to resentments, buddy. Like
he'll learn that. He already figured out how to learn to hang out of resentments. Let me tell you, just not with professional wrestlers yet.
Right.
So he's feeling it, this MJF thing. So I'm very curious to see kind of where we go. Excuse me, I just bumped my microphone out of place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say Adam Cole just because we have conversation, but I don't know.
Cool. Well, I'm curious to see where it leads, and then if he does win, then